Hi there, welcome to my channel, and this is Learn Apart Together. Hi Internet, once again, I'm Flex Tio, a polytechnic lecturer in Singapore who is an engineer by training, an educator by profession, and a rebel at heart. The Learn Apart Together live stream series is a way for my students and I to document our experiences about home-based learning through candid discussion and hard talks. Currently, we are at the last week of our vacations, so we'll get to return to school for about 2 hours a week from next week onwards, but about 90% of our lessons will still be home-based learning. We are also taking this chance to reach out to students and teachers who are feeling lost or stressed out with all this learn from home, teach from home thingy. Just want to tell you that we are all in this together. Right, today, I'm proud to bring in two guests all the way back from part 2 of the session, and I'm going to get them into the stream right now. Hi, Regine.
Hi.
Yeah.
Quick introduction of myself. I'm actually quite a quiet student, but then once you get to know me, I'm actually quite a talkative person. Most of my friends consider me a clown in the group, so yeah, I guess you can get a rough image of me. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure everyone already got the image of you already by having you
clown.
showing it from. Yeah, so thank you for your time and thank you for coming in here. Right, next I will also bring in another student of mine. He is Sam, the supreme leader. Hi
Hi
Sam.
guys.
Hi.
I think I would describe myself as a mediocre student. Mediocre student, which is like sort of introverted extrovert. Yeah, so there's nothing much to me, which is why I can speak for the greater audience.
Right, thank you. So thank you once again for both of you coming down to this show. And this is our very final session talking about home-based learning. So in the first session, we roughly talk a little bit about motivation and all the way leading on to what are some of the difficulties that we find in home-based learning, as well as what are possible things that we think we like about home-based learning. I think with the entire world trying to loosen from lockdown, and I think some of them are going back into lockdown situation also. So, in the education, I think sometime back in early June, so I attended a conference, and the professors over there were already talking about what is it like teaching in the new normal. So, I want to use this last session to really talk about what learning and teaching could be like in the new normal. Right. For this, perhaps let us start off with a simple question. And in the education industry, I think these days there's something very famous. We keep talking about this thing called mobile learning. So, mobile
Oh,
learning, does it actually work for us? Right? Anyone can share any thoughts in this moment.
Mm,
uh,
Reggie, you want to go first?
I go first.
Mm,
So for me, mobile learning is like, for me, I don't think it's really effective because uh I feel I cannot watch things on a small screen. Sometimes I need a big screen, and also I also prefer face-to-face learning.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
So I find it hard to concentrate if there's a lot of information going through a small mobile device.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I need paper and pen to actually write down my thoughts and the extra points that the teacher has gone through. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sam, for you.
For me, a bit of a gray area thing. I mean, it definitely does work if it's closer to like tests or exams. You know, when you want to mark, and then after that you just go watch all the videos, and then you're like, oh, okay, now I understand it. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're talking about everyday learning, it definitely will work for me because like, there's a lot of apps on your phone, right? And then why do we want to go and watch, educational videos when we could be watching TikToks and we could be watching, Netflix, right? And
oh
so
yeah,
many things. so many things, right, that I would personally, like in my own personal time, it would take precedence over, it would take priority over educational videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see where you are coming from.
Yeah.
And yeah, for me, mobile learning. So, for those of you who are unsure about what mobile learning is, when we talk about mobile learning, we are talking about using, let's say, mobile phone, and which is something that we are carrying it all along. And I think aside for talking about mobile learning, the very first thing that I remember our mobile is Amazon Prime. So I think at that time Amazon was trying to put together web a shopping interface, and they refused to put it on the website. And I was like, I have to shop through mobile interface. Actually, I really don't like it. As for learning wise, I think I would agree with Regine and Sam as well. I would find it ineffective. Because in terms of learning, I need activities. So I will be writing notes, or come to worse, if I don't have paper and pen, I will need to at least type down the notes somewhere. I need some form of conducive environment for me to absorb the information. So it's a little bit hard in terms of mobile learning. Yeah.
Mhm.
But of course, being in this live stream also means that uh perhaps let us try to put a different spin on this thing called mobile learning. And maybe we can talk about, if we want to make mobile learning workable, what sort of format or at which situation do we find mobile learning to be workable? But before we jump into that topic, which I think is a very huge and very difficult to answer, maybe we can talk about what are some of the things that we usually do with a mobile phone while we are on the move, or when do we actually access the mobile phone in that sense.
Actually, it's a funny story
For
that
me,
day. Sorry, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, no, no, just
Sorry.
continue.
Okay, so
I
I was
just
actually on the train that day, and then after that, I put down my phone for a second and I looked around, and I never realized this, but especially in peak hour, because when I got off work and I go home, I realized that every single person on the train, there is not a single one that is not using a phone in some sort of way. Even if it's not looking at the phone, he's listening to music on the phone. So there
Mm,
is no one on the train that is not using a phone, which sort of surprises me at the same time. Not like it doesn't surprise me at the same time. You get what I mean?
mm,
Because everyone is using their phone, but
mm,
it's not for. I don't see any of them using it for educational purposes.
mm.
So yeah, I think that's a question that I can reply with.
Do you mean you
People
nose
use their phone
around at
all
the
the
screen?
time.
Yeah, Sam, sorry. Do you mean you nose around at the screen and realize that they are not learning anything?
No, as in like general, because I see a lot of them playing games and all.
yeah,
So
Okay.
Candy Crush.
yeah, right. So and young and old,
Mm,
whatever size you are, whatever age you are using a phone. So
mm,
for me, right, is everyone uses their phone at every single time. Like it doesn't matter
mm,
when, doesn't matter where. So
mm.
yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. So I guess that's one key thing. We are definitely using our phone quite often. But it seems that it's also more for entertainment. I guess aside from entertainment, maybe to watch the news. And I probably can do watching documentary where I don't really need to learn to remember, but more of knowledge for entertainment, edutainment, perhaps. I think that would be a good term to use. And oh yeah, I also remember back in session 3, Kai Jie was talking about he find that mobile learning works for him. He's going to watch lecture video while queuing for a giant, and we all know that giant queue sometimes can take about 15-20 minutes. Do you all find yourself using mobile phones while you are queuing during groceries? And
Watch
Um,
TikTok.
yeah, just to pass the time. Just
okay.
watch stuff.
Mhm. So aside from TikTok, Regine, do you watch anything off your mobile phone? What's the usual way that you use it?
Anime, K-drama,
Okay,
Netflix.
drama. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
But then if you're going to talk about like how I'm going to use it when
mm,
I like for educational purposes, right? I
mm,
would actually usually people know me as for being late. So right
mm,
when I'm so right for me typically when I'm late, right? on the way to school, right, actually I very scared to lose out on the lecture stuff. So I actually kind of read through before I go into while walking lah. So that like briefly see the lecture note so that I can catch up when I'm going into
Okay.
the class.
So in that case, that means it's using more for revision.
Yeah.
It's not for you to like learn and really absorb new knowledge. These are more like I've sort of already know the knowledge, but maybe I don't know them very well. So it acts as a okay, I can reflect and review the material once again. So maybe more on that sort of schema.
Yeah, there somewhere there.
For me, in terms of using the mobile phone, probably same thing lor, TikTok and all that. But I'm a person who drives, so in terms of driving, of course, I can't use the mobile phone or to watch, let alone to watch a video. But a lot of drivers, if they really want to try and learn something while they are driving, one of the things that we may go to is podcast. So I think I do download some podcasts of my mobile phone and connect my mobile phone to the car entertainment system. And then from there, I will sort of listen to podcasts lah. So I think that's one possible method. And the other frequent thing that I use the mobile phone, I don't know whether you all do it or not, but sometimes when you are going to the toilet and you need to do a big one.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Yeah.
we all done that before.
Those people in
right.
the live comments, don't judge, please. Don't judge.
Yeah.
Don't judge our
So
toilet
maybe
habits.
you all, people at the live, you all do it as well. Okay lah. But at least for me, okay, I'm not going to be judged. But at least for me, yes, I do carry my mobile phone if I need to, go and take a shit in the toilet. Yeah, just to, I don't know. I guess, modern lifestyle is very busy, and you just want to keep yourself occupied all the way. So that's sort of why I will take the mobile phone into the toilet. What do I do in the toilet? Instagram, because they are quick and easy. TikTok, yes. Or sometimes there's a work SMS, or sorry, no more SMS. These days we do WhatsApp, right? What WhatsApp that I need to reply here, I reply while I'm doing.
Oh my god. Oh, that's
Do you also
I'm
put down there? Oh, I'm in the toilet now taking a dump.
too
hey,
much
I
information.
I WhatsApp. I just tell my friend, hey, wait, let me shit first. Then I go answer your question.
Yeah. I hope you're not watching K drama inside the toilet. That's gonna take a
Hey
long
god,
time.
God,
1 hour.
Okay.
you know
Yeah.
when kids are stuck in the toilet these days and they take hours.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't anything wrong? It's K drama.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
at least for me, at least for me.
Okay.
Yeah, actually for me, I don't. Okay, I don't do like those stuff inside there. Okay, I know some people do, but then because I read already, but then, yeah, yeah. But then usually it's because I enjoy my time in the toilet. I just like to sit down and get my leg numb.
Okay.
And now feeling very nice. Then I just stand up. Then very hard to stand up also because leg numb. Then it's like like loop. You cannot stand up, but then you want to sit down.
We
Yeah.
sidetrack from education to toilet.
Sorry, I don't understand how the loop comes in, but I can see
like
where
like
your point.
like you suddenly want to break the chain or like and you stand up, right? Then you just like cannot, my leg numb, so I continue sitting. Then you continue sitting until your leg even more numb. Then after that your leg numb, right? Then you cannot stand up. But then right, yeah, the only time to actually break the loop, right, is actually try to unnumb your leg. Yeah.
Why are you so passionate about this? I've never
It's not
seen you so
passionate.
passionate about other stuff.
Okay, I think we need to move back into learning before it become a toilet joke out of the live stream.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we have explored what do we actually use it for, and when do we use it? When do we use mobile phone? I think we largely use mobile phone for entertainment purposes, but not saying that we don't learn anything out of entertainment. One possibility, it seems that a special class or entertainment called edutainment that is possible. Sometimes I realize that there are some things that you can learn from TikTok, and they sort of flow into TikTok aside from all the
Yeah.
nonsensical stuff. Uh, Sam, do you learn anything from TikTok?
I learned how
TikTok
to make a
dance.
potato launcher with PVC pipe, hairspray, and a spark. The what do you call that? Basically, the thing that ignites the spark inside lighters. Yeah, so I actually did make a potato launcher. But it
Potato
does
launcher.
teach me a few stuff, like I actually searched up on it, combustion and all this expansion of the yeah.
Mm,
I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I do learn some stuff. I also learn
okay.
a few Arduino stuff actually from TikTok. If you actually
From
search up
TikTok,
the
I do we know. Okay.
actually if you search up Arduino in the hashtag of TikTok, they teach you some stuff like they teach you how to connect a Bluetooth module, how to connect it, all this kind of thing.
And
So
that
actually, sorry,
is that
and
all in 15 seconds?
no, there's a 1 minute option actually. So
Ah, okay, 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 okay.
yeah, but then sometimes they split into a few parts and then they post it all at
Mm,
once. So it's like Arduino, Bluetooth module. Then I'm like, oh, okay, like you can learn this, okay. So that's not bad, having an entertainment platform, but at the same time there is what you call edutainment.
mm. How
Mm.
about Regine? Anything? So dig hard, all the K dramas and YouTube and whatever that you are doing, while you are on the mobile phone. What are things that work for you that actually I learned something, not just entertaining.
Not the dancers,
YouTube lah.
Aside from
YouTube.
how to dance, I guess.
How to dance TikTok ah?
Yeah, the
No lah.
TikTok dancers.
Dance
Uh,
challenge.
nah, don't do those stuff. But for
Mm,
me, I usually view like the entertainment side of things lah. Unless I really need to like do some research, right? I go to Google and YouTube to explain. Like those like Indian and the Filipino people. They actually teach me a lot of stuff on YouTube.
mm,
Especially for programming and networking, like sometimes you don't know how to do, then you just ask them, you just type how to do this, then like they give you this very very good example.
mm.
Yeah,
And will you
yeah.
do that
Then
on the train and on the bus?
train and bus.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm short for time, yeah, because
Mm,
sometimes project like very rush, then you just go on the train, then you just like, you don't think do right, so you just gonna just watch it lor.
mm. Or in fact,
Yeah,
coming back to home-based learning, the other way is if it's mobile learning means that you can practically study off the bed lah.
off the bed.
Yeah. So you are tired, you don't feel like waking up, you lie down, you reach for your mobile phone and then.
Oh, that one cannot work for me because when you're on the bed, then it's like sleeping time, so you just
Mm,
feel like half awake. I don't know. It's like my head tilted. I cannot turn. I cannot think. Then I hit my head like that. I can think. It's
okay.
must. It's the I don't know. It's like like the environment lah. So it's like you're sitting, then your body thinks, okay, you're working now. You're gonna start focusing. But then on the bed, it's like wow, you just wanna toe. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Actually, that actually reminds me, it's like the uh environment that reminds you that you need to be learning at that moment. I guess that's one thing that at least I myself, I'm not sure about you. I'm not used to it. That's why maybe I will feel that mobile learning is not effective.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
Mm.
among the things that were okay, maybe not saying effective or what. Instagram, I do follow a lot of Japanese language thing because I'm trying to revise my Japanese language at this stage. So sometimes the flashcard will come along in my feed in the stream. Then I will, okay, let's just take a few seconds, read out the statement that is on the Instagram flashcard, and that is sort of the way that I learn. Then in terms of TikTok, my friends were saying that they learn a lot about cooking through TikTok.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Uh, uh,
The cookie and the mac and cheese one, and
hmm,
then the mini pancake,
hmm.
and then
And
the strawberry.
what was the challenge? The coffee thing
Oh, the
that was very
Dalgona
difficult.
coffee.
Hmm.
I think it's called Dalgona coffee, where they whip the coffee with hot water, like just the minimal amount of water, and then apparently it becomes like sort of a cream that you put it in milk.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like dalgona coffee though. I mean, its aesthetic is nice, but
Mm.
the taste isn't, you know,
Nice
Mm.
leh for me. I taste like nice
really.
leh.
But I did
Yeah.
do that though. I did. It was very tiring for my hand.
Need to use mixer. I use mixer. Just like zzz, then
Mm.
done.
Yeah, because a lot of the videos I watched, they use hand mix. I then after that I realized that, and oh, you could just use a mixer for it. So
Mm.
that's my fault on my end.
Mm.
Yeah, actually use mixer nice. Then you make it more foamy. And then you use hand
Mhm.
is like still watery.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've learned
Okay.
Regine is passionate about three things: toilets, dalgona coffee.
Uh,
Aiyo, salah. Mm. Mm. Okay, so maybe let us do a bit of a summary. So I think maybe for mobile learning, if it's the first time we are touching something, that means we are trying to learn something. The our normal reaction seems to we need focus. So focus come in several different manners. For instance, a conducive environment will remind us that we need focus. Definitely not on a small screen, probably a big screen, someplace comfortable where we can sit down and not moving. I think a train sometimes will shake a lot. Gives me a lot of giddy spells when I try to read something off it. So
Yeah,
those might not be that good. I guess, which also means that if any of your lecturers produce lecture video and we are just going to put the lecture video on mobile phone, you all probably don't watch it if it's the
mm,
first time. Lah.
depends
no.
if it's really entertaining. Yeah, yeah, sure, why not? You know.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
got the animation, then got the I don't know like cute characters like boing boing boing. Then yeah, I will
I
like.
think humor definitely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think humor definitely plays a big part. I don't. I
Mm.
wouldn't say like I wouldn't want to ask lecturers to make a fool out of themselves, but you know,
Mm.
having the personality as a fun lecturer definitely like let students like think, oh, I really do want to watch his TikToks though. It's on the same par as those kind of
Okay.
dancing TikToks or whatever. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
yeah,
true.
there still need to be some form of entertainment, I guess, because mobile you are already disfocused because the environment is different and all that. And the
yeah.
screen is very small, is you can't put a lot of details. Imagine going through PowerPoint slides on mobile. Doesn't work.
15 seconds is a bit, yeah,
Yeah. So
15 to
it
60
works well
seconds.
if it's a revision,
Mm,
even if it's flashcard, I think, like the Instagram I was talking about. I think even MCQ questions, a question that do not require you to like work it out on a piece of paper using pen. You need a proper table, but something that you can do as a brain exercise. Uh, so even answering quiz question could be possible, lah, like answering
yeah.
Yeah,
surveys.
your
Hmm.
MCQ question.
Okay, so I guess that's one thing that probably uh curriculum designers when you are doing mobile instruction do could be something to take note. Of course, right now we are just three of us talking about this lah. If we ask more people, perhaps there are even more views about how should mobile learning be done. Mhm. Right. Let's move on. For home-based learning, so aside from the trend mobile learning, I guess home-based learning is also a lot about self-directedness
Mm.
because do you all find that you all need to do a lot of self-directedness in home-based learning?
Mm, yeah, yeah, we do. There's not
Mm,
much to say about that because for us, a lot of our lessons are on Zoom, of course, yeah. But
mm,
then they tend to give us the lab notes and just tell us, oh, okay, here is the materials, sort of in a way of paraphrasing it, figure it out yourself. So I think
mm,
there's pros and cons of being self-directed in terms of
mm,
learning because first of all you know how to learn yourself. So even when it's out
mm,
of curriculum, even when it's out of the syllabus, right,
mm,
us students can actually find other ways to make our program or our work better. But then
mm,
the cons is sometimes when we get lost, we have no one to ask, no one to really consult. So I think if you want to support self-directed learning, you really have to pair it with a very, very close relationship with your students, where students aren't afraid to ask. There are times that teachers or lecturers, they might get uh, angry, or they might get frustrated when students ask simple questions, right? But that's because they don't have the self-directed I would say essence in them, right? They don't have that drive to learn themselves. They don't have that uh, the feel to learn themselves. So they want to ask the teacher, but then the teacher get frustrated, so they're scared to ask the teacher. So if you want to learn more effectively, I think lecturers and students can play a part in both, like connecting and really like having a communication between them, so that they can share their thoughts, or share their questions, and then the lecturers can say, okay, this is a large problem, then go through it as a whole.
Okay. So wow, actually there's a lot to consume. So in summary, I think
Yeah.
there are two parts that Sam actually spoke about in terms of self-directedness. And I think it sort of fits this question of how can we self-direct our learning a bit more effectively. So there's two parts to it. Number one, Sam talked about the ability for students to actually learn by themselves. In education terminology, I believe we call that self-efficacy. So do our learners in the first place have that self-efficacy to be able to self-direct their learning? Or in Sam's case, I guess the other point he brought about was can we like handhold your, I think especially the very front part when you all are first exposed to the topic, you all will probably need some form of hand holding. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to move on from there. Hmm. Regine, do you have any thoughts about how do you think you will self-direct your learning more effectively?
Self-direct. Actually, if I'm not able to actually self-direct my learning, I just feel it's my fault, because I believe that it's up to my own self-discipline to actually do my own self-directed learning. So, uh, so I only can blame myself lah, me myself and I. I never do my e-learning properly. And also, if you're talking about self-directed learning for other students also, maybe is everybody got different way of learning also lah. So for me is I don't really like to study at home, because sometimes it's very noisy, sometimes I not able to concentrate, because home to me is like Kaji said in the previous video, it's just a comfort zone. So I believe like self-directed learning, it differs for many people. Like for Sam, maybe he wants to ask that he's the type to actually like study at home lah. Yeah. Then so I believe you can do like some sort of survey. Then you just ask people what they prefer, like breakout room or breakout room or and then make some friends, so that you can form a group to help each other. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, this form a group to help each other is probably, I think, very important. I mean, home-based learning aside, let's say the usual classes that you all attend last semester, right? There's a lot of face-to-face and all that. Do you all seek help from your friends on
Yeah.
how to do certain things? And your
But only
friends will
close
come to
friends.
you? Only close friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we won't go and ask someone across the room that we don't know, like, hey bro, can you help me? I don't think we will do that lah. I think we'll be more like we'll, even if there is no friends in that close friends in that class, I would rather text someone from the other class who studies the same thing, the answers, or how to do it.
And so Sam mentioned that you text the, even if there's no
Uh, uh
one, okay.
yeah, even
And
if there is no one in the same class that is close to me.
and when you all are at home, will you all text your friends when you all are
Yeah.
definitely?
Sometimes we'll text our seniors that we're closer to. Then we'll ask them for help regarding like some of the work. But I would never text like someone that I'm not close to in the same class that I'm in now. So I think it's more of the relationship between students.
Okay.
Oh, for me, right, I'm able to talk to somebody that's not in our class. Like sometimes for example got one guy actually for example one example is like okay actually I'm in a new program, so I was talking to in the class group. Then this guy, one guy, just asked me a question. I mean, asked the group a question. Then after that, I actually private message him how to reply. I mean, how to answer the question. Like, yeah, like answer his question lah. Then after that, I just then at the same time I also like ask a question. Then he answer back. Then end up we become like texting buddies. Yeah. So it's like different people lah. Like some people more comfortable within their friend group and so on. So,
Okay. Right. By the way, those who have just joined us through the live stream, we are trying to talk about how we can self-direct our learning more effectively. So currently, Regine and Sam with me here, we are basically talking about the importance of having friends, and the friends could actually make our self-directed learning a little bit better. So if you have any questions, please feel free to pop in the comments. Over here, we can see whatever that you are typing in, and we'll be able to take questions along the way. Yeah. So coming back to this, that means it is let's focus and we talk about learning in the new normal. So learning in the new normal, probably we have some face to face, but maybe a lot of the lessons are still home based learning. That means probably it would become very important that during those face to face, especially the first few lessons, find a way for the class to forge friendships. Do you think that's one big possibility?
Uh,
yeah.
I think especially for year ones or people that just enroll into a new school, that would be super important because they only seen each other through the phone screen or the computer screen, right, through Zoom. But for us, year three, yeah, definitely still very important.
I think the feeling of someone walking the journey with you, walking the learning journey with you in this case is something that's very important. Otherwise, you can be self motivated, then the fire will burn, then you will burn out because you're all out of fuel when you are doing
Yeah.
this alone. Oh, by the way, Regine and Sam over here are also peer tutors, so they've taken up some they volunteer to help to tutor the first years. What topics are you tutoring?
I'm tutoring Java, which is under the module programming methodology practices. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the only one.
Okay,
Uh,
and Regine.
for me, I think most likely database fundamentals. I think I didn't really specify. I just said anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
do,
I
do,
think we're quite all rounders.
okay.
yeah.
Do you all manage to meet with any of your the peer tutees yet?
I did.
No, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I had a peer mentee.
Maybe you can share some of your experiences.
Okay, so first of all, you won't be talking to them directly so far. So it will be a middleman asking you, can you take this mentee? And then after that, of course, I said, yeah, sure. So what happened next is they actually connect you two by giving the numbers. So he will be given my number and I will be given his number. And then after that, we'll start to talk and set up a timing for our Zoom call, right? Or actually, they encourage using other um, connecting platforms, communicating platforms like Skype or Discord, right? So what happened is we'll okay, it was kind of scary at first for me because imagine meeting someone you never met before, teaching someone you never talked to before on a random on a screen, it's a very scary and daunting experience, I'm sure, for all peer mentors. And it's like super
Okay.
scary. So like I'm just sitting down there waiting for him to come inside. Then suddenly thing, the entrance sound come on. And like it suddenly hit me very hard, like, am I fit for this or not? Because right now I'm still a student, right? Then you're asking me to tutor someone. So in real life that would be fine because you probably had some friends with you, or he probably had some friends with him, or it's just got this connection. But now you're just talking to someone on the internet. It feels a bit like Tinder, doesn't it?
Blind dating,
Tinder.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's sort of like a blind date to us, like in a different way of saying it. And it's very weird for me. But I think after the first few like talks, like, oh, so do you have any problem with this? Do you have a problem with that? Then we sort of like get along, click, and then sort of like talk. And I think, yeah, after a while I got more comfortable. But
So
the
is
the
your TOT a gentleman or a lady?
it is a guy, he's a gentleman.
Okay. Hmm.
I
So he's very nice. He's quite soft spoken though, but he really grasps things quite fast. So I
Mhm.
appreciated that.
Mm.
It must have just been difficult for them lah, because they only learn through computer, they only learn through Zoom, like
Mm.
through virtual meetings. So yeah, I sort of like feel bad for them because they never got to experience the coding in real life and how your friends are able to like, hop around and help you out with your work. It's
yeah, that's
it's not
true.
possible in that way. Yeah.
Mm. It's like how do you actually maybe it's not about trying to mock up the case where the friends actually hop around and help you. It could be about during the face-to-face class time. Um, how do we get friends to hop around and help you? And then Singapore, there's this safe distancing, so you will need to maintain 1 meter distance. So maybe you get a gigantic screen. Okay, you just move your mouse down. Okay, click here, click here. That could be a way to help. I don't
Yeah.
know, but just coming out from my head.
Mm.
Mm.
Actually, there are some very smart students, right? Okay, for example, there's this one guy in my class in year one. So I was
Mm.
like, start on this code. Then all you have to do is like, Joe, I need help. Then the Joe like direct you to this guy. Okay, this guy help Regine. Okay, then end up I'm able to solve the question. So that's how I actually learn because I learned from my friend. Yeah.
Mhm.
I ask friends for question because they then like this in a way, right? Your friend teach you, right? Then your friend is able to refresh and maybe can remember the thing more clearly. And also at the
Mm.
same time, you also get the benefit by getting the code also. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay. So, in terms of education terminology, there's actually a term for it, lah. When some of it is like self-directed, you all do at home and all that, then some part is done in class. We actually call this blended learning. So I guess one of the most important thing when we are moving into learning in the new normal, where there's a big bunch of home-based learning, which could well turn out to be self-directed, is maybe for us educators to make a very conscious decision. What are the things to be done in class that can never be or extremely difficult to be replaced with Zoom lessons or even self-directed learning? And I guess two key things. And one of the key thing is the when you need interaction. So in this case, learners to learners interaction. That means you with your classmate sort of interaction. Once you need that, you it's very hard to go through online. No matter how we say, oh, we are comfortable with Zoom now, but nothing beats that face to face and being able to see that entire person with the entire body gesture, understanding what the person is trying to say with his whole body and whole heart. I guess that's one part. And the other part, I was thinking, but this is me personally, probably doesn't represent all the educator. To me, then the very first face to face class may not even be teaching, or it could be some form of teaching, but it will largely be focused on a group activity so that you all can have a chance to work with one another and be friends with one another. If it's
Mm.
a bit more draconian, maybe force you all to exchange number and form a WhatsApp group. Lah. I
Mm.
guess that's one way. But
Yeah.
um basically learn through play and play together. That could largely be the first lesson. So the
Mm.
emphasis is on learning, but it must have a play element and it must be playing together to allow you all to form the friendships so that you all can self-direct more effectively as you all
Yeah.
move down the home-based learning journey.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true in a way. Yeah. My
I
friend
think
you and
teachers
I
really miss.
my friend and
yes.
I
No,
used to actually like challenge each other who can finish first. Then I
Mhm.
always lose. Yeah.
I like how you say I always lose. No,
It
I,
sounds
I
like a
was
tag
saying.
racer game in class.
I mean, it's just sometimes you just copy paste the code, man. Then you just just do until the challenge part. Then oh my god, I don't know how to do. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah, host a competition, but it has to be a team-based competition. That's a good idea.
like
And
you
sorry,
just
Sam, I think
feel.
we interrupted you just now.
Yeah,
Oh no, I
sorry.
was just saying I was thinking how much so many lecturers miss noisy classes. Because previously everyone was like saying, "Oh, my class so noisy, my class so noisy." No one is conducive, or no one is considerate. And then now everyone is too considerate because everyone off their mic and camera.
Yeah,
I was
that's
just
true.
thinking how the tables have turned, right?
Is that
Yes.
considering, or are you all trying to ignore us?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Oh,
but
or
then
the
I heard lecturers also get their motivation to teach right from their students also. Like
mm,
if the class is very motivated, right, and you can see the motivation on your face and very like oh my god, very on, can finish the task very fast, right, and also like they're hardworking. Then the lecturers get their drive from those kind of students, yeah, right? Am I
mm,
right? Yeah.
yes, you're right.
But then like now don't have anything. Then I think the lecturers like a bit. I think maybe unmotivated.
Mhm,
Yeah. So I guess the face-to-face classes starting soon is gonna like make them more motivated, I guess.
mhm. Okay,
Yeah.
I think Mr. Flex is
so
very motivated because he has a student like me.
who is a supreme leader, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Mm. Okay, right. Let's take a look at the comments once again to see if there are any interesting questions. Yeah, not much questions for today, which I think is fine. So, right, let us wrap up the last session. So I'm going to give a little bit of time to see whether Regine and Sam has anything to say. Yeah, start with what, ladies first, maybe. Regine,
Ladies
Yes,
do you have
ladies.
first.
any last words for our viewers out there?
Uh, no, don't.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I just start off first.
yeah.
No, I think for home-based learning, especially now, we all know the virus and phase two starting, and with all the situations that's going on right now, and even general election, when they made certain arrangements to allow people to go vote. I think what us as students and lecturers need to do is communicate. Most important is to communicate and to really be open-minded, because I realize some teachers, lecturers, speaking as a general, some of them are very caught up in the normal traditional learning where you're in a classroom and everyone's quiet and you just listen to a lecturer. And then now suddenly that everything has happened, you don't know whether your students are even there. And then yeah, like what I said, the tables have turned. And then I think it not yeah, like what Regine said, it makes them unmotivated. But at the same time, students having no interaction with each other also cripples the ability to learn, right? So I think all of this can be solved with just a bit of communication with both lecturers to students, students and students, and even lecturers to lecturers, where they can sort of like give tips and tricks on how they make their class more interesting or whatever, right? So I think how we're going to get through this together is really just to communicate with each other and just to talk. I think that's one of the most important things as learners and as educators.
Mm,
Good. Sam, next time be a teacher.
yeah.
Please don't. I won't. Cannot dye hair as a teacher.
Cannot dye hair. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss my golden hair. Gosh,
How you got blonde?
I used to have. Right.
Oh.
Vision, anything for our viewers out there?
I mean now it's I guess when school starts, I hope everybody just regain your self discipline and everything, because I know like it actually hits hard for some people, like for home based learning, because it's very different lah. So I guess you can just pull through. together. Yeah.
Mm.
Yay.
Sounds good. Sounds inspirational. Yay.
I don't know what to say.
No,
Yeah.
it's
For any
okay. Yeah,
DMIT students, y'all can ask us for help because we're peer
Yeah.
mentors. Except for year 3 because we are very bad at year 3. Year
Yeah.
3 is hitting hard. So if you need help with year 1s, hit us up.
Yes.
Yep.
Hit me up.
And I guess for me to round up from a educator side, so we have gone through this for 4 sessions now, and we explore everything from motivation and to what is good, what's not good. We talk about mobile learning, the newest trend in this session, and we talk about how do we build an online learning community. So that's actually a lot of things to consider. Yeah, being an educator is not an easy job. There's a lot of things that we are considering. Then right now, COVID. Yeah. So once again, for me to start this channel and start this hashtag actually ever since the start of COVID, learn the part together. I what I really wanted is to use this opportunity to say that, yeah, uh, we are all not out there alone. So no matter how alone you feel that you are in this journey, somewhere out there, someone is feeling the same. If you are a student who is also feeling like things are difficult, here I have Sam and Regine with me who are also facing through the same thing, and we are just, I guess, making the best of what we can do. And in fact, if we are able to do it quite nicely, we might emerge on top. And yeah, so like what my life coach would always say about crisis, it is made up of two Chinese character, Wei Qi, meaning danger and opportunity. So within danger, we find opportunity.
Wow.
Wow, so deep. My Chinese not that level yet.
Time to learn Chinese. You can learn it off Instagram, perhaps.
I forget
Mobile
我的名
everything.
learning.
叫 Sam
我的名叫了金，
了。
了金。
All right, so we have come to the end of the last session. Yeah, last session we took a bit longer, but I think it's some very important hard talks that I really think we should get through. So with that, once again, if you find this to be useful, do remember to comment on the video as well as subscribe where there's new videos, which could be on music, could be on education or some engineering stuff. You will get to see it in time. Yeah, smash the subscribe button, share, and yeah, I guess we'll call it. And this is Learn Apart Together, saying goodbye to everyone. All right.
Peace out.
Bye.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.